Hey, hi, hello. My name is Brandon, and I am making a video for today. Today is Thursday, July 28th, and um, I've been making a lot of videos lately. The one thing I want to say is that I am a faithful believer in Jesus Christ and the Most High, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. I am a faithful believer and follower. I believe that not only are we to be followers, but also examples, So this is my mission. And so I've been making videos, and I, um, I honestly believe that I have something to offer, and that by doing this, those who are ready to hear or ready to understand maybe might uh, be able to come to a better understanding of what God wants for their life, or what direction God is trying to send them in. I believe that iron sharpens iron. So not only can my opinions maybe help others, I believe that also the opinions of others can help me, which I am constantly. I'm always searching for a way to understand and be understood. I think it is very important that we not only look to be understood, but also to understand. Understanding is one of the greatest things that we can have, because without understanding, you can't interpret knowledge, and without understanding knowledge, you can't attain wisdom. So I believe that one of the first steps, to getting to God, to getting closer to God, to making steps toward God, to coming to a closer relationship with God is understanding. For the Bible says that um, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all understanding. The fear of the Lord. Once you understand, what God is capable of doing in your life, or once you understand, how much He has His hand over your life. I think that we don't quite understand that. Even I think. Well, let me say this: more or less, we as people are more prone to we are more prone to look at what we don't have rather than look at what we do have. And so whereas we may have a house, a car, we may have all the basic needs. I think that even in the midst of that, I know that there are people who are very much thankful, but I think that we can have a tendency to not focus more on what we have rather than what we don't have. God says that contentment is godliness. And so I think that even though we, as the days go forward, we look to better things. I think contentment is also a great thing. So one thing I want to say is that I make videos on different things. I think my last video I did was about the Matrix. If you like to, I think that you should check it out, because it really does describe what we are basically living in, um, and and possible and ways to discover that, and to come out of that, to not be a person that's on the inside being looked at, and instead being a person on the outside that's looking in. I think that's very important in our life today, if we really want to attain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I think that these are the beginning steps. So like I say, my videos haven't always been the greatest, but one thing I will say is that if a person is truly listening, I think that, you know, as well, I think that, you know, I may have an opinion or something that I read out of the Bible, which I have right here. I do have a Bible. I find it very odd that a lot of people don't have Bibles now. They just have the app, but I do believe that God actually speaks to us in the Bible, and the closer we get to Him, the better we understand Him. I mean, this flesh, yes, we do entertain it, but the true you is spirit, and the Bible speaks to the spirit. And so that's what I want to do, yo. And I believe that what I have today is just God talking to me in general conversation. one thing I want to say is that what I am doing is, you know, Jesus gave us an example of how to live, okay? And so I am practicing, you know, getting better at walking in the spirit, because they say if you walk in the spirit, you will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. And I now understand what that means, because walking in the spirit is more, what is consciousness? You know, what is the consciousness? You know, I believe that if I had to describe walking in the spirit, I would say that it's walking in the consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Inside the mind, inside of the spirit, and you know, and identifying the things, listening to or identifying the right voice, number one, identifying that voice that is God's, that is trying to create a better understanding for us. You know, I think that this is what walking in the spirit is, because the more that you do it, the more that you're prone to understand what it is. And so that's what I'm practicing doing more of. Yo, I'm not perfect. I've sinned a lot of times. I've done a lot of things. You know, I admit the fact that I am a heathen, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm in the point in my life where I am striving to do more, you know, and not only am I striving to do more, I want to be able to, in the midst of me striving, offer something to other people. This is our job as faithful followers of Jesus Christ, you know, our Lord and Savior. And so that's what I seek to do, man. I seek to be an example, you know, and to not allow this world to conquer me, but to rise to anything that may come against me, to rise up against it and to overcome it and to endure. And see, this is where I believe our blessings come from. Even though God blesses us on a daily basis, I believe that, like it says in the Bible, the race is not to the swift nor to the strong, but to the man who endures. And in this world, as a Christian, knowing that I will honestly say that I feel that we are in persecution at this time. You know, this is a time of persecution for those who are faithful believers inside of a world where most people now don't so much believe that their prayers can bring them to a place where the Lord will actually hear them, see them, and bless them. And instead, they are going to a lot of isms and, things that, are, I would say, more negative and dark, like black magic and altars and, praying to devils and praying to the heavenly, to the host, to angels, you know what I'm saying? These are things that is very damaging to us. And although it may seem as though we are benefiting from it, the long-term effects of it are disastrous, So that's the one thing I want to say, yo, like I say, I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ to the fullest. I do my best to follow in his example. And I just feel like even if it's just one person that hears this and understands this, and I'm quite okay with it, Today I'm going to read out of Isaiah 51. Like I say, I have conversations. I believe that I have found the voice that is of God. Matter of fact, I know I found the voice that is of God, that is sending me in the right direction. And I daily have conversations, and to understand what the will for me is, because, the road to evolution, to becoming a better you, a stronger you, a smarter you, a wiser you, a more understanding you, a more loving you, because love is the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? The road to that is understanding what God's will is for us, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we strive to do many things, but ultimately, God's will prevail. And if it doesn't prevail, things will be terrible for you. I can tell you that now. That's the one thing that I now understand about life with God, living with God, understanding God, is that you do have choice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people believe that we don't have choice, but you do have choice. And it's like this. God gives you, he gives you a choice. You know what I'm saying? He says you can follow the rules, you can do as I ask, and over a period of time, in the acceptable time, I will bless you and you will be, you will prosper, and everything will be okay for you. Not only will everything be okay for you materialistically, because that's not the most important thing. God will build up things inside of you that are very important. Okay, this is what we need to understand, is that there are things that we need that can only be built through adversity. There are things that we need that we have to go through troubling times to attain. And so I believe that there are some of us who get into those tough times and we don't quite understand it, and we don't look at it as we should. And so therefore we take it as that, maybe God doesn't hear us, or maybe God isn't going to bless us. But I believe that it's most important that we understand that it is for some of the things that we must develop on the inside, patience. How many of you, lack patience? I know I very much have lacked patience, and so patience is something that must be built through adversity. You can't find patience in the beautifulness of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't find it. So there are things that we need, because in order for us to properly walk with God, you must be patient. You must be full of charity. You must be full of love. You must, come to this understanding. And I know to some people, they may be like, man, it sounds so, but it's actually not, yo. Because many people are looking for happiness, but they never find it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I want to say is that, in our lives, I think that most of us, some of us, we work towards a life to where we feel like we have no problems. And, I want to say that if you are the type of person that is working towards, or is, thinks that you can have a life with no problems, then you're sadly mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is not for you to go through life and not have any problems. It's, rather, life is supposed to be problems. Life is not a straight line. It's very much like water. It's up, it's down, it's unstable. It challenges us, it tests us. This is the true meaning of life, the purpose of our life, to form our character, to build our character, to make us more patient, to make us more enduring, to make us more to bring us to a better understanding of how we are to demonstrate our love for others. I believe that for people who understand this, life is easier. And it's not easier because life is easy, it's easier because they are stronger. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that life gets easier for people, the more they progress. I believe that they get stronger, and that therefore, them being stronger, they are more easily able to endure life. And for the next person that's looking out on the inside, they may say, oh, well, his life is easy and he got it made, and even though he's going through this and that, you know what I'm saying, he's handling it, you know what I'm saying. And I would say to them that it's not the fact that life is easier for them, it's just the fact that they've become stronger in who they are and what they believe in, and therefore they're more easily able to overcome these troubles, overcome these afflictions, overcome these things that challenge us, and which attempt to keep us at a level that is, less than what God expects for us. God expects some of the highest things for us, and we just have to understand that, yo. So, I seek to empower, man, to give us, or to make it able for us to have the strength, because, like I say, the troubles are going to be there, the afflictions are going to be there, the tribulations are going to be there. You just have to gain the strength to overcome them. You know what I'm saying? Continually, over and over and over again. You have to gain the strength. You have to have that endurance. And only through God, only through walk your faith, you know what I'm saying? Your faith is what's going to take you there. Your faith is what's going to take you there, and, that's something that I just want to say, yo. We can complain, and we can, complaining will not solve your problems. They won't. And I'm just saying that because one thing I understand now is that, I can complain and I can complain and I can complain, but it will not solve the problem. Getting stronger, understanding what the problem is, you know what I'm saying? Not just reacting to the problem, but stopping, looking at the problem, observing the problem, understanding the problem, and then coming to a better decision about the problem. This is how we can get ahead. This is how we become stronger. This is how, we are able to not be shaken anytime the wind blows, because there are a lot of us, or some of us who, anytime the wind blows, we move, we're just basically kind of like, wherever the wind blows, that's where it goes, and so but it shouldn't be that way. We should be stable, throughout all situations. We should be able to come to an understanding at some point in our lives. We should be able to be stable throughout any situation, throughout any condition, having control over our emotions, not having to just freak out and let our emotions have control over us whenever something doesn't go our way, yo. You know what I'm saying? And so this is, what I look at as truly becoming divine, you know what I'm saying? Getting closer to the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Taking that away, which is seen, not focusing on that which is seen, and focusing more on that which isn't seen. You know what I'm saying? Seeking to do better within thyself, And so, this is something that we just, I feel like we just, we got to understand, yo. But that's not the point that I want to make. I don't want my video to be too long, because I want people to look at it through its entirety. So, I'm just going to get straight to the point. But like I say, I talk to God. I talk to God all the time, and we have conversations. And so, one of the ways that I know for a fact that He speaks to us is through His Word. And so I'm always diligently searching to hear what He's trying to say. And that's the reason why, when I feel that He's giving me a word, I will express it, because I believe that through Him demonstrating that, if I can hear it and I can understand it, then I know that there may be other people who also can hear and understand, and so that's the reason why, I do this. It's not because I'm looking for 1 million followers. As a matter of fact, I really didn't expect to have 87. You know what I'm saying? And regardless to why they're following, it doesn't matter. They're following. And one thing I want to say is that everything that I do is genuinely out of my heart, out of the fact that I care about people and want to see people not only do better, but have a better relationship with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Not be ashamed to be a part of the Most High, because there's nothing to be ashamed about. And in the times coming, a lot of people are going to see and understand, So, but what I want to do is I want to read, and I just want to see what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I want to say is, when I read, try not to listen through your flesh, but just listen, see how it feels to your spirit. How it feels to you inwardly. If it convicts you, if it makes you feel good, if you come to a better understanding about it, because that's the thing about the Bible is that, the flesh can't understand the Bible, and if you're trying to understand it through your flesh, through your common sense, then you're not going to understand it. But I can tell you what the Bible does do. It can confirm the spirit. It can convict the spirit. It can show you exactly where, it can show you exactly, or give you exactly what you need through the Holy Spirit, because, the word, this Bible is power. You know what I'm saying? This Bible is power, and the words are very much holy. And, only those who have who continue to strive with the Most High through Jesus Christ come to understand that these words are power. This book is power. And, as I know, to some it probably may seem weird, but I can guarantee you, to those who have a good understanding about the Bible and, and about God and how it works, they know for a fact that these words are power, and when we speak them in faith, and they move mountains, So that's the thing that I want people to understand, is that, a lot of times we can read something more than once, and it will have a different meaning each time. This is just how God speaks to us. I think back in the days He spoke directly to them, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm not sure how exactly it works now, but I know this, that He does speak to us through His word, and if you trust in Him and understand how He works, and reach out and are diligent to find Him, you will find Him. So I like I say, I don't want this to be too long. I don't want it to be more than like 25 or 30 minutes. so that people can understand, you know what I'm saying? But I have a message for people, and this is, I guess, and this is for, God's people, because, I know for a fact that that we as his people, sometimes we get worried, sometimes we get anxious, sometimes we don't know where we stand. Sometimes we don't know exactly what God is trying to show us. Sometimes we don't know exactly what our next move is. Sometimes we don't know these things, and so it's very important. That's the reason why it's so important that we stay in constant communication with the Most High, is because of the fact that, he will always show us the way, one way or another. He's going to show us exactly, he knows that we get down. He knows that we get depressed. He knows that there are days when we don't feel the greatest. He knows that sometimes we suffer afflictions and persecutions, and we, are fighting with the enemy, and so he's going to always find a way, or make a way, create a way for you to understand his will for you. It's just that you have to be diligently searching for it. He also knows that the enemy is there for a reason. If you had no enemy, then there are things that are developed in you that you wouldn't attain. The enemy secretly builds strength in you, because you don't know how strong you are until the enemy is after you. You don't know how strong you are until you've been attacked. You don't know how strong you are until you've given it your all. You see? And so this is the reason why I honestly believe that the enemy is there. How would you know the goodness of God if you didn't know evil? If you didn't know what it meant to be persecuted or afflicted, then you wouldn't know the goodness of God. You wouldn't know the difference. And so, I just think that it's important that we understand that, But I'm going to read from Isaiah 51. And if you have a Bible, or if you have time, whenever, or if you like, you can take a look at it. And this is what, like I said, I've been talking to the Lord, today, for the most part of the beginning of my day. And like I say, because I'm looking for my direction, I don't want to just be off doing whatever I want to do, because I understand that in this walk, God's will is more important than yours. And God wants to lead us into the right direction, and by us following our own, and our own mind, or listening to ourselves, or listening to the devil, we can sometimes put ourselves in situations that we didn't necessarily have to be in. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna read from Isaiah 51. And I might speak on it a little bit, but I just expect for those who understand to understand. Let it rest on your heart, and if and just let it rest on your spirit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, God will speak to us. It's just that we have to hear. And so, it says, Isaiah 51. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Lord. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn. He's saying, look unto the rock, the thing that has built you, that, your faith. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. For the Lord shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. If you think about it right now, one thing I want to say about us as followers and believers is this is a very, for many of us, it may be a time of tribulation. It may be a time of affliction, but God is saying, for the Lord shall comfort Zion. He's saying he will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, like the Garden of Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving in the voice of the melody. And when I read this, I picture it as like the Lord is like, it's, like, this is like, I picture it not as a book, but as the Lord speaking to me. I can almost see his face. I can hear the words coming out of his mouth. And so that's what resides with my spirit, And he says, for the Lord shall comfort Zion. He's saying, I'm going to comfort you. and all your waste places, all your torn down neighborhoods, and all the things that have been destructive, and places that have been torn down and no longer are serving a purpose to you. He's going to comfort all your waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. He's saying, hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, a law, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light to shine, come forth of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and mine arms shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be afraid of their revilings. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that hath made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over? And so he's asking, isn't this the same God? Isn't this the same God that cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Isn't this the same God that parted the sea for the ransom to pass for his people who were in danger to pass? Therefore, the redeemed of the Lord shall return. Listen, therefore, the redeemed, those who he have redeemed of the Lord shall return, and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I, even I, am he that comforteth you. Who art thou, that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die, and as the Son of Man which shall be made as grass? He's saying, I, the Lord, I am he that comforteth you. Who art you, that you should be afraid of a man that should die, and of the Son of Man which shall be made as grass? And forgettest the Lord thy Maker, and forgettest the Lord thy Maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens, and laid the foundations of the earth, and has continually and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor. Let me read that, reread that. He says, and forgettest the Lord. He said, you forgetting the Lord. How have you forgot me? I have stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth. And you have continually feared every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. You know, he's saying as if he were ready to destroy. So I take that as God is basically saying, you know, how could you possibly forget about me after I'm the one who stretched out the heavens and the earth? And you have forgotten me over your continual fear of the oppressor. as if he were going to destroy you. And where is the fury of the oppressor? You know, and this is God speaking, you know what I'm saying? He's saying, where is the fury of this oppressor? Where is it? Let me see it. Because I'm God, and I stretch forth the heavens and the earth. Who can come out of my hand? Who can be taken out of my hand? You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes me feel so good, is because, you know, when understanding is the greatest, when you come to that understanding, yo, and see what God is actually saying. He's saying the captive exile, the person who is exiled, you know what I'm saying, which I would consider us right now, who's been captive, hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. But I am the Lord thy God, that divided the sea, whose waves roared. The Lord of hosts is his name. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem. And see, let me tell y'all something. When he talking about O Jerusalem, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's talking about the country. I think he's talking about the people. And we know for a fact that right now the Lord's people are not there. The people who are supposedly in Jerusalem and Israel, I don't, you know, if I'm reading this word correctly, in my opinion, I would say that they're still not there. You know what I'm saying? They're still scattered within the four corners of the earth, because we know that all 12 tribes were scattered within, at the four corners of the earth. So I don't believe that though Jerusalem is in Jerusalem, and I don't believe Israel is in Israel, and I don't believe that Judah is in Judah. I believe that we are still very much scattered within the four corners of the earth. But God says he's going to bring us back into a pleasant land. He says, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. You see what I'm saying? He's talking to his people. He's saying, hey, you've been drinking his fury. He's been furious with us because we've been disobedient. We have not been paying attention. We have not been listening to him. We've been following our own way, and now we are coming to a point to where, you know, he's going to make amends with us. But he's saying, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Listen to that. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she has brought forth. And when he says the sons, I'm believing that this is the sons of God, Jerusalem. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought forth. So what he's saying, that no one standing up. No one standing up, yo. No one is attempting to come forth. Everyone is falling astray to what the world is doing. You know, he said, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted. Those boys that are in the street, the young men who are dying in the street, who are constantly being killed, being shot, anything. He said, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. Is that not happening right now? Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. Picture a wild bull in a net. Is not this the sons of? Is this not the men of today, currently, who stand up at the corners, who carry guns, who do violence? Is this not as a wild bull in a net? They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of the Lord. This is the fury of them because of the rebuke of the Lord, because because God is not pleased. And so this is the fury of them because of the fact that he's not pleased. This is what they are doing now. They have found no comfort because they are being rebuked because of their sins, because of the things that they are doing. They are not being obedient. And therefore they are as a bull, a wild bull in a net. Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. He says you're drunk, but you're not drunk with wine. And so how can a person be drunk but not with wine? I believe that can be mentally. You can be drunk. You can be dizzy. You cannot see clearly. You cannot understand. You cannot see your way. I believe you can be drunk like this, you know. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God, that pleadeth the cause of his people. He say that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, which have said to you, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. So, you know, I just wanted to read, that's Isaiah 51, yo. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm coming to a close. I don't want it to be that long, you know. Like I said, I want everybody to read. I want people to listen and pay attention to this, yo, because, you know, I believe that time is here now. I believe that time is coming where the redemption of God's people is very much near, yo. The redemption of his people is very much near. And, you know, Jacob's trouble will be about the redeeming of Jacob. Those who have forsaken, you know, those who have forsaken the world, have forsaken father, have forsaken mother, have forsaken children, have forsaken their lives to make sure that they are in accordance with the Lord. He sees you, and he knows for a fact that, you know, your blessing is coming. We just have to hold fast, yo. We live in a world that is in opposition to what we believe, to what we do. You know what I'm saying? And I just want that to that word Isaiah 51. If you want to, you can go back and take a look at it, yo. You know what I'm saying? I do this on video. I also where I live. I can be honest with you, there are not many who are willing so much to hear. It's very unfortunate and disappointing, you know. And so I just I do everything I can to put the message out, man. The Lord does love you. It's just that one thing that we must understand. This is very much mandatory. And if you don't understand this, then you're going to always have a problem with God. Until you understand this, you will always have a problem with God. Obedience is the number one thing. Without obedience, you cannot please the Lord. Without faith, you cannot please the Lord. Because you must, you know, understand that he is faithful to those who come to him, you know. So, you know, I just want, you know, I hope that this word just blesses you. You know, I know that there may be some who are trying to understand where the Lord is trying to take them. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, the Lord just wants us to be still. Commune with him. Take the time out. Don't spend your whole day doing everything else besides communing with the Lord. Understand that he has a plan and a will for you, but you have to be willing to take the time out to listen and understand what that will is. If you cannot take time out for the Lord, what makes you think he's going to take time out for you? You have to be willing to stop the world, yo. You have to be willing. I pray the Lord bless you in all that you do.